Hey everybody, I am coming to you today on Independence Day weekend, and there's a lot of things that I wanted to talk to you about concerning our independence and freedoms. Uh, we celebrate Independence Day because of uh, we're supposed to be living in a free country. The United States is supposed to be a free country, but a lot of our freedoms have been taken away. And it's sad how people just don't realize how many of those freedoms have been stripped from what they once knew, or maybe they've never even known some of these freedoms um, were ever something that they once had but had been taken away. And I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad that we say we live in a free country, but we really don't. We really, really don't. I mean, look at all the things that's going on in the world right now. Um, I really don't want our freedoms to change any more than it already has. So I'm going to take you through a list of things that I think that our freedoms have been taken away in the past, and is currently going through that right now. Um, our constitutional right to be able to say what we want, that's being taken away. And this video was really sparked by what happened with me on YouTube. When I first started making videos for YouTube and for Rumble, both, I made a video on making colloidal silver. All I did was take you through the steps of making colloidal silver. Well, unfortunately, YouTube decided that it went against their rules because they don't want people knowing all these things, these natural things that are out there that can help you. And that video was taken down by YouTube. And, that is so frustrating. Like, I have no freedom of speech. All the fact checkers on Facebook? Well, a lot of the things that I post are completely 100% fact, but yet it doesn't go against, it doesn't go for the agenda, their particular agenda. So of course they're going to come back and say, oh, that wasn't factual, so we're going to take you down, or we're going to put you in Facebook jail. Is that freedom? No, that's not freedom. And I'm really tired of it. I'm really, really tired of it. I've been put in Facebook jail I don't know how many times. And they just ban you from being able to post anything or see anything, or it's just not right. If we live in a free country, we should be able to say what we want to. And if somebody is on YouTube and they don't want to hear it, we're not forcing you. You can click off of it and go to another video. It's just not right. Another thing is healthcare. That's a freedom that has been taken away. I live in a place where there are, it's the healthcare system that I am in is, there's just one particular one, and it's a monopoly. That's the word I was looking for. It's a monopoly. They can charge what they want to. They can tell you whatever they want to, whether it's for your health or not. There's nothing pushing back. They can push their agendas. They can tell you whatever they want. And people who follow Western medicine are ones who will just bow down to whatever they say. I know people who are like that. Whatever that their medical doctor says is it's just like you read it from the Bible. It's God's word. And you know what? Western medicine isn't what it used to be. When the FDA came in and started regulating everything back in 1965, we lost a lot of freedoms then. We really, really did. That's when herbal medicine was taken out, and a lot of things, you're not able to use herbs medicinally like you used to be able to. That's what medical doctors used to be taught. When they were in medical school, that is what they were taught, and that's what they passed along to their patients. But then when the FDA came in and started regulating everything, then unfortunately, that is when a lot of the natural healthcare went away. And I'm seeing that a lot because I am a doctor of natural medicine. I went through many years in school to be a doctor of natural medicine. And one of my things that my concentrations that I did in school was herbology. And I was taught to diagnose and to treat naturally. So I did a couple of natural nutrition response testing and muscle response testing and iridology. Oh, I loved iridology. And then I could treat with herbs and treat naturally. And I love being able to do that, except I live in one of those states that will not allow natural medicine in their state. So that means I cannot practice. How dumb is that? How dumb is that? I mean, really, we are the people, anybody, any state, any person should have the right to choose. Hey, I want to go natural, or I want to stick with Western medicine. I want to stick with my medical doctor that I've always known. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But if you want to have that choice of being, go to a natural doctor, have that choice of being diagnosed and treated naturally, you should have that right. But that right has been taken away from us. How is that anyway right in our world? How is that right in a country that is supposed to be free? It doesn't make any sense. And that sort of bleeds into pharmaceuticals nowadays. You don't have the right to pick a lot of the things that you want to take. Your doctor is going to tell you the pharmaceutical medications because that's all that they know. That's all that they know because that's what they were taught. They are not taught any herb medications anymore. And so is it necessarily the medical doctor's fault? Not entirely. I mean, yes, I think that they should look into alternative ways of diagnosing and treating patients and not just go with the mainstream agenda type ways. And I also don't think that the insurance companies should be allowed to be able to say you can give this to a patient or you cannot give this to a patient, or you are allowed to spend 5 minutes with this patient, but if you go over 30 seconds, then we are going to frown upon you and your job will be in jeopardy. This also goes along with the jab. A lot of medical providers and anybody working in hospitals and other facilities too were faced with either losing their job or possibly losing their life if they took the jab. And how is that right? How is putting their lives in danger? I mean, it's proven now that there are many, many things that, it could cause lots of problems, cancer and neurological issues. I mean, there's plenty of records and data out there now. But beforehand, when this was just came out, why were people just going along with it? Like, they were just going along with what everybody else said. The media and their medical doctors. It's because there's an agenda. There's an agenda that's being pushed, and you don't even realize it. All of our freedoms are being taken away, and people are just going along with it, and they're not standing up for what they believe in, what they feel is right. And we need more people like that. We need more people to lead. We need more people to not be just followers, not just be the sheep. We need the lions. We need the ones that's going to go out there and stand up for what is right. Because this is our country. This is not the leaders' country. This is not the political country, politicians. They don't lead correctly. I mean, that's evident now. And anybody can be in office. And I'm not just talking presidential. I'm talking even on state levels. There are people in there that shouldn't be. They are pushing agendas that shouldn't be pushed. And simply because if they push those agendas, their pockets get lined even more with more and more money. They are for money, power, control. That's basically what it all boils down to. Are you going to let money, power, and control run this country? No. We are the country. We, as people, are the country. We need to stand up for what is right. Okay, so moving on. Another way that our freedom has been taken away is through our food system. This goes back to the FDA as well. But with food, a lot of that, what you find in the grocery store, there's hardly anything that is healthy anymore. Even if you go to, let's say, the vegetables and all that is, that's not healthy. They have grown these vegetables in soil that has been depleted of all these minerals and vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. And our bodies are not getting them naturally. Now, yes, you could take vitamins and all these things, the vitamins that they push, the synthetic vitamins, but they're not doing your body any good. They're synthetic. They're not natural. So, do we really have freedoms anymore of just going to a grocery store and wanting to eat healthy? We don't have that right anymore. In order to eat completely healthy, you've got to grow that food yourself so that all those good vitamins and minerals are coming up out of the earth and getting into your system. There's no pesticides. There's no anything harmful being sprayed on them, on the vegetables, and then it's going into your body. You know what is going into your body, and you know it's healthy and nutritious. That's the only way. That's the only way now, unfortunately. We cannot rely on grocery stores or anyone, really. We cannot rely on that anymore. As homesteaders and as farmers, sometimes we're pushed into this. I would very much consider myself a city girl, but I know that this is the best route. Being on land, having good, healthy, nutritious options, being able to grow everything that we eat, or it comes from the land and the animals, being very self-sufficient. I know that that is the best thing because of the world we live in right now. It's just sad that the world has come to this point. It's really sad. There's all kinds of pesticides that are grown or put onto grown food. And that's going into our bodies. And then there's meat hormones to make the animal grow faster. And those hormones are getting into our system. Then you hear about all this worm stuff and eating bugs and all that. And then there is the mRNA that they are starting to put into foods because they want that to be in every American or every person in the world, actually. They want this in our bodies. Why? Why are they taking our freedom away of being able to eat what we want and healthy foods? Why is that? Are they trying to kill us off? Or is there another agenda? This is what I'm talking about. You need to think for yourself. Have a conversation with others. Start thinking for yourself. Start trying to understand and think ahead of where the agendas are going. Try to think what the next goal is for the one that's pushing the agenda. If you can think for yourself, then you're good. You could figure out what's going on and maybe possibly stand up and fight for your freedoms. All right, so we talked about that. And then, tax dollars that politicians are using and sending to other countries. We don't have the right to say, hey, we don't like that. Do not send that to Ukraine or whatever country there is. We don't have that right to say that because the politicians are not working for us like they're supposed to. That's a problem. That's a big problem, and politicians are supposed to work for us. And I guess I am just one of those people that buck up to, if somebody's going to tell me what to do, I'm going to buck up to it. And so I consider myself a leader, and I want freedoms to be returned. Not just for us, but what about our children, our grandchildren? What kind of world are we leaving them? We've got to do something. We have to. Another way our freedoms are being taken away is through the public school system. Kids that are going to school, they are being taught exactly what they want them to know, not necessarily what's important. And I'm not talking just about things like algebra or whatever. When I was going to school, we were not taught history. I've had to learn that as an adult. And believe me, as an adult, understanding history will help us in our future because we can learn from our mistakes. There's a lot of things that's happened in history and even recent history that we can learn from. But, like in schools, they used to have pledges. They used to have a lot of things that's being taken away now. And agendas are being pushed. And, there are certain states and certain schools that even if your child is, no matter what age they are, they can legally give them the jab without the parents' permission. What kind of rights do you have? And what's that teaching the children? It's just nothing is right in this world right now, and we need to stand up and change it. And, it used to, back in, like, say, the 50s or so, one income could easily take care of a family. And now we're being forced to have one or two incomes. You both parents have to work in order to make ends meet. And therefore, that's pushing more back onto the public school system. And then that makes more parents have to rely on whatever the school system wants to teach your child. It's not right. It's just not right. So, like I was talking about, you got to think for yourself. Well, I think a lot of technology nowadays has made it to where, technology was supposed to make things easier. But has it really? No, things are being taken over. Like, you hear about the robotic things that, they're going to be waiters and waitresses in restaurants, and these robots are going to take over and be the cashiers at Walmart. And, there's already a cleaning thing that is robotic in Sam's. And if you get in the way of it, it stops. And so just the more and more technology that we have, the more and more jobs are going to be taken. And then where does that leave us in our economy? I mean, we are already struggling so horribly bad right now. It's just sad. Even me, I mean, I know my great-great-grandparents had things that we will never understand in this modern day world. And a lot of those things have been taken away either through rights or freedoms, or it's been taken away because of technology. Technology has changed so many things, and it's made our society lazy. Unfortunately, we are lazy. We don't get out and work like they used to. They used to get out and work and physically work. That was good exercise. We didn't have to go to a gym, back in the day. But now, what exercise do we get? We just sit around, unless you're a homesteader and you get a little bit, but not nearly like it used to be, because we have modern day tools and we have vehicles. We don't have horses, or we don't rely on walking. It's you don't walk 10 miles to get to somewhere anymore, or ride a buggy. It's all that technology and things that has come about that has made us lazy. Another thing that I need to probably point out is all the illegals that's coming into this country right now. The more illegals there are, the less freedoms we will have. The people who are they work at least one full-time job, maybe even more. They are working, they are saving, they are doing what what Americans are supposed to do. However, that doesn't even compare to the amount of money and benefits that an illegal comes in and gets. We're not born with those rights and things. We're not born with that, but they just automatically get it. So the more illegals that comes in, the less freedoms that we will have. And they get the government handouts and even not just talking about illegals. A lot of the newer generations are in their mindset is, well, the government will take care of me. I'll just live on food stamps, or I'll just have 10 kids, and then all the money that they give me for these 10 kids, I'll live on that. They don't have any work ethic. They don't know. They just don't get it. I kind of feel like my generation, I was raised in the 80s, and I think my generation may have been the last good ones to know what it was before technology, before computers. When we wanted to have fun, we went outside and we would play with the neighbor kids, or ride our bikes. Do you see kids doing that nowadays? Not really. Not the social aspect of it anymore. It's just, we're just relying on technology so much, and it's sad. I feel like a lot of our rights are being stripped away, our constitutional rights, and that can include anything from like guns. That's a good topic. Guns is that's our Second Amendment. We should have the right to carry a weapon if we choose. And unfortunately, there are some places that are talking about taking that constitutional right away. How is that right? If we can't defend ourselves, then what's keeping the government from doing anything that they want? They're supposed to be working for us. If they are working for us, then they wouldn't be so concerned about us having weapons to defend ourselves. So there's other things that affect us, like laws. There's laws in place for a reason to keep us safe, but there are some laws, like the seatbelt law. A lot of people will probably disagree with me on this, but why is it a law to have your seatbelt on? I'm not hurting anybody else by not having my seatbelt on. That's one of those things. It's just, it's frustrating that they're making laws and we all have to abide by it because it's part of an agenda. That's probably not the best example, but let me give you this example, and this relates to homesteading, is rainwater catchment. Why is it illegal in some places? Why is it illegal to catch rainwater? Why is it? I mean, it's water that comes from the sky, comes from the clouds. What is wrong with catching it? Why would somebody be reprimanded and be put in jail for something like that? Doesn't make any sense. And maybe you've heard lately about how they're trying to get rid of gas stoves, and they're trying to put a ban on wood stoves. Why is that? I mean, wood stoves has been around for forever. And they're trying to keep people who want to be self-sufficient from being able to do so. They're trying to do that. Wood stoves are not hurting anybody. I can go and cut down a tree and burn it if I want to. Or at least that should be my right, because I live in a free country. That's the whole point. I live in a free country. What does it matter if you think I should have a wood stove or not? Doesn't make any sense. It's all a part of the agenda. And, one more thing I'd want to mention about, the right of taking away our freedom of being healthy is, do you know that they have corn? Corn is all GMO now. No matter if it's organic or not, it is all considered GMO. And they do sell seeds that are non-GMO. But they're really difficult to find and really difficult to locate. But growing natural, untainted things is getting harder and harder and harder. Things are being tainted, and it's not in our favor. It's not in the favor of the people. We are the country. We are the world. We need to stand up and make this world right again. Don't just sit back and take it. Don't. Just don't. Stand up for what you believe in. No matter if it's against what I believe or whoever down the road believes, stand up for what you believe in. Don't just go along with it. That's what got me so, oh my goodness, I was so frustrated when 2020 happened and masks were supposed to be required. No. Oh, I bucked up against that a lot because, number one, I can't wear a mask. Number two, that goes against ADA disability rules. And number three, anybody who had a disability at that time, it was just dismissed. It didn't matter. Nobody cared. And then why would I put something over the areas where I breathe and hurt my own health? Why would I do that? Why would I put my health in danger just to make somebody else happy? No, I got thrown out of a store because of that. And, I after that, I just put my foot down. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. There were many doctor's offices that I went to. I had LASIK eye surgery done, and the eye doctor who I was seeing, the receptionist kept telling me, we're going to have to reschedule you because if you're not going to put a mask on, you have to leave. I refused. She even tried to put the mask on my face. And, I wasn't going to stand for that. And you know what? I have never been happier to be able to stand up for what I believed in. It's a good feeling. A lot of people don't like confrontation. And yeah, I don't like it either. But if you get over that little hump, that feeling, that joyous feeling of getting over that hump is really rewarding and worthwhile. Okay, so I'm rambling now, so I'm going to close, but just know that our freedoms are being taken away. Our freedoms are, before long, they're going to all of our freedoms are going to be taken away, and they're still going to be saying, hey, you live in a free country. No, we don't. Right now, we don't. We don't live in a free country. It's becoming more of a socialist country. Do you want that? If you want to change that and go back to the way it used to be with more freedoms, then you have to stand up and say something. You have to be a leader. You have to fight in any way that you know how. Okay, so I appreciate you watching to the end of this video. If you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel yet, I ask that you please do so. And hopefully we'll have some really good content out there for you. I hope you have a blessed day.